Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Evan, and the Detroit Pistons preseason has concluded. Compared to Summer League, this preseason was at times nightmarish, but I'll still try to pull some positives from it. With all that said, let's begin. Josh Jackson was the highlight of preseason. JJ showed how much damage he can do when teams play him one-on-one. He was getting whatever he wanted in those scenarios. The Pistons are also running more set plays for Josh, and he executed them, most resulting in open threes. But the two biggest things I've seen from Josh Jackson were defense and passing. He took a charge in a preseason game that showed dedication along with a winning mindset. Josh was also blocking shots and securing rebounds, both things the Pistons need right now. Circling back to offense, where JJ now trusts his teammates way more than he did last year. And because of that, the team is getting much better looks when he's on the floor. Josh has secured his minutes without a doubt. In Summer League, Saben Lee showed he could knock down threes. He continued taking and making them in preseason. Saban's confidence in that shot will be key this season, as every team's scouting report says to leave him open from that range. Looks like opposing teams daring Jedi to shoot will face consequences this year. Speaking of three-point shooting, Kelly Olynyk, Corey Joseph, and surprisingly Trey Lyles were all solid from outside the arc. They had some great chemistry on both sides of the floor. If you watch the game, you could hear Kelly O telling his teammates where to be defensively. The second unit seemed reliable at times, especially in the first game against the Spurs. Rodney Magruder is someone I joke about a lot, but he's able to play with either of the units on the floor. Having a player with that versatility is nice. So high praise from the vets doing what the team needs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you needed any assurance Jerami Grant will be an all-star, look no further than these past 4 games. Grant got a lot of star calls, getting to the free throw line at a high rate. Because Grant was cooking everyone that guarded him, teams had to double to stop him. Jerami responded to that, finding the open man for a score. It was good to see Grant get more post-ups, since he has a variety of moves in the paint. Jerami is going to keep some coaches up at night trying to figure out how to stop him. After suffering an injury with the Team USA select team, Isaiah Stewart got his first action in preseason. Of course, most of the games he looked rusty, except for the final game where Stu had one of his signature performances, rebounding the ball, blocking shots, and finishing inside. He ended up with a double-double against the Sixers. I'm glad he was able to get into rhythm before regular season, as Stu is key to this team's success. Coming out of Summer League, half of the fan base was drinking the Garzilla Kool-Aid, and the other half was saying to chill out. But the only one who could keep up the hype from Summer League is Luca Garza himself. At both home games, fans let it be known they wanted to see the center get minutes. In the few he played, Garza showed he could score and rebound at an NBA level. Garzilla brought immediate energy off the bench. His defense was also good, with recording some blocks here and there. But when faced up against Steven Adams, it showed how far off he is against polished bigs. This is something that happens to all rookie centers. If you can recall, Stu went through it last year. Luca just needs more experience, and going up against Olynyk and Stewart in practice will help with that. The other standout from the Pistons summer was Jamarco Pickett. We knew he could shoot, but in preseason, Pickett showed he can rebound. Being on a two-way deal, we will see Pickett mostly in the G League, which is a great place for players to add things to their game. For example, look at the Warriors with Jordan Poole. They sent him to the G League last couple of seasons, now he's playing out of his mind. Pickett will go through a similar change, where he will build on his game to reach his full potential. Last player I wanted to talk about was Frank Jackson. He missed game 1 and returned in game 2. It only took him a half to get back in game speed. Then the Pistons had a much easier time once Frank was back spacing the floor. Another thing Jackson did was rebound the ball. Getting 7 boards from your shooting guard is a big help. Frank is one of the Pistons' more reliable players. Just like Stu, I'm glad he's back in rhythm. The squad had 2 weaknesses in preseason, those being turnovers and rebounding. Game 2 against the Grizzlies served as a wake-up call. The Pistons collectively looked better after that game. Everyone pitched in with rebounding in the last 2 games. Turnovers were lower, but I feel they will still be an issue throughout the season, especially when Killian and Cade return. 3 of the Pistons starters were hurt during the preseason. Cade and Sadiq both have ankle injuries, and Killian took a shoulder to the head and was put into concussion protocol. It's rough we haven't seen the starting 5 in a game yet. Preseason would have been a perfect place to build chemistry. It's still up in the air on who will play opening night, but I think things will be okay. If you remember, Cade looked great in the Summer League on both sides of the ball. Sadiq was dominating in both summer and preseason games. Bay showed how deep his toolkit is, scoring anywhere on the floor. And lastly, Killian got high praise from every player this offseason. He's been in the lab working on his game. That work will pay off. My biggest takeaway is that the Pistons will be alright. We knew the team was deep, and that was on full display in preseason. With snipers in the building, Grant and Josh got any look they wanted. Pistons still have a ways to go, but this was a good prequel. And that wraps up this video. The Pistons regular season begins this week, Wednesday, October 20th. The team will face off against the Bulls' Big Three at Little Caesars Arena. Chicago has been flexing this entire preseason. Hope the Pistons can humble them. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to see more videos just like this one. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.